1993, by the time we'd finished Rally Catalunya, Juha had picked up the World Championship, which meant that we had one rally left at the end of the year, and home ground for me, the Network Q RAC Rally. Now this, for that event, was our service schedule. Look how thick that booklet is. Nowadays, the service schedule will probably be 2 pieces of A4 paper. But because it was 4 days, and we had a different, more or less overnight halt every time, other than Birmingham for start and finish, but it was a different hotel. So there was so much more information, so many people, 8 service vans, 3 emergency service vans, which were covering the end of stages before a long road section, 6 tyre trucks, 4 runner cars, all with key people inside with specialist transmissions and stuff should they need to follow us on a long road section somewhere and do some work. There was 4 supervision cars, that's just management being in the right place at the right time. Measuring trailer, track, 2 motorhomes, the doctor's car, driver's transport to take us to and from Park Ferme and the hotel, 2 gravel cars, a transporter which carried all the bulk spares and what have you, a workshop truck which had specialist machinery and engineering stuff so they could actually refabricate a part should they need it. That was basically the crew. But there was all the hotels, we've got the schedules, we've got the hotels and room lists, aircraft schedule. Why do you need an aircraft, you may be asking yourself, but we had an aircraft flying above the rally car all the time. So we always had the uplink of radio from the car to the aircraft, which then would beam it down on a repeater to all of the service crews. So the rally car was always in contact with everybody and management could keep control of what's going on. Few loading lists, tyres needed, what time the vans had to get to their places, because on Rally GB you could only service on private property with the permission of the landowner. There would have been a 2-week recce of somebody going round knocking on the door, can we service our rally cars there, we'd like to do this, and that would be signed off. So all of those positions would have been pre-plotted. But it was vitally important that these vehicles left at the right time to get there early and lock off that position for us. So in total, the service schedules are, mapped out with basically time of cars and fuels and what's needed, and the location, all hand-drawn with a photograph of the location so we could see exactly where we needed to be, any other information, the vehicles that are to be at this point, if there's a tyre change, spanner check or anything that's needed, and it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. At least 1 service point every road section, more often than not, but you could even have 2 service points in a road section. Out of 4 days of rallying, we had 82 service points. It was a little bit more in depth in my day, wasn't it? But it was great to be a part of all of this, I can promise you. It was started from Birmingham. Of course, I was hyped up. It was my home rally. I mean, you're always getting hyped up for your home rally. But one thing that Juha said in the morning of recce, he said, listen, Boyo, we're going to win this one for you. This is your rally. So, of course, I was delighted about that, but I'm sure there was a few competitors in the entry that were going to complain about it, and one of them in particular was Colin McRae. Of course, he wasn't going to leave up the opportunity of not winning his round of the World Championship. But the structure of the rally was different then to what we've known in recent years, because the first day was basically made up of 9 stages, just relatively short for the majority, but they were all what we termed as Mickey Mouse stages. Spectator stages using country parks, large estates from stately homes, and even the odd strange stage as well. And we went into the first stage of the rally and I was a bag of nerves. Now, the first stage of the event, starting from the centre of Birmingham, we went to Sutton Park and it was just under 5 kilometres. But this stage is really, really tricky. It was tarmac, but the surface was a little bit mixed. We'd had all different types of weather conditions through the recce. In central Birmingham, at least, it was just wet and cold, and inevitably, it was very slippery. So let's take a look at how we did on the first stage.
100 over bump to flat left. 50, flat right over crest, 120. Keep left over long crest and keep right over 70 to crest. 40, turn long bad right. 50. Long flat left maybe. 70, long flat right maybe. 50, flat right and keep right over 100 to turn 90 left. 30, K left, 100. Flat right maybe to narrow gate, 70. Fast right, 70. Keep right over 40 and long K left, slippy, and turn 90 right. And long bad left, tightens. 50. 90 right, 50. 90 right, then 50. Easy right and 50, medium left to water splash and turn 90 left, tight. 50, flat right and keep right over 70 to crest. And long flat left maybe, 70. Keep right over crest, bump 50, turn 90 left tight to narrow gate. 100. Flat left to crest and flat right maybe. And long easy left. 70, turn hairpin right tight. 50, fast left, 40, fast left. Keep left over 50 to long K right, tree inside. 50, medium right and medium left. 30, keep right through narrow gate to turn long, fast left, tightens into very, very long medium left, opens. 120. Fast right through narrow gate, 200. Flat right, 150. Long flat left. And 50, flat right, 250. Flat right, 150. Caution, easy left over bump, opens the crest. Keep right over 70 to turn long bad left. 30. 90 right. 50. Flat left over finish, 200. To stop.
That was neatly done, fair play to him. That was as neat as it could be, and it actually meant on the stage itself that we were fastest by literally just 1 second from Colin. These kind of stages, you wouldn't win the rally here, but you definitely would lose it. You don't want to lose too much time either, because it's very easy to lose a minute or two and then the rally is gone. We went through a number of these Mickey Mouse stages, but there's a couple I want to pick up on. One was Chatsworth. Now, Chatsworth House, wonderful stately home up in the Peak District. This stage actually was quite a long stage, just over 6.5 kilometres, but the whole nature of the stage was slow and twisty, and I think the stage time was quite high. But the conditions were very interesting, deadly slippery. So here we go, let's watch this stage.
3, 2, 1, go.
As you can see,
100,
a lot of
easy
snow
left.
here.
70, caution, long fast right tightens into very long K right.
Some tightish corners. Look how
300.
slippery that is. Oh, oh. Oh,
Very long medium left, opens. 100,
we're obviously on a gravel tyre here
long fast right
because
to crest.
the lower part of the snow.
Sorry, that was me.
Well, now
Very, very long fast left.
that
slippy.
snapped a bit sideways on him there, but you can see
100.
that there's been a lot of snow falling here, and at places
Long flat
there's
right,
clear tracks, but a
tightens
lot
into
of
long
snow
easy
at
right.
in the middle and off to the sides. Get off that, and the
70.
car's snapping
Long
sideways
easy
everywhere.
Right. 50, flat right, 100. Long
When you
easy
consider
left,
it's
narrow
so easy when you look at those conditions,
150.
so easy to go off the road and lose a load of time.
gate. Caution, easy right, 50, very, very long bad left. And long K right, opens. 50, crest 30, long medium right.
You
30,
was
turn hairpin
pace
left
notes
tight,
when I
slope
jumped in with
inside.
him for the first time. Couldn't believe how easy they were, because he chose a system that was basically the way that I used to read the map when I used to do my road rallying. So I basically fell straight into the pace notes.
To jump.
A simple English descriptive
50,
system.
jump, 120.
This is a
Small crest,
wild piece of
200.
road here.
Long K left narrows.
Look at all the trees at the side of the road here.
50, easy right over crest, keep in. And easy left, 70. Fast right and 50, turn hairpin right, tight.
That's one treacherous piece of road finished with, but fair dues, we haven't got the modern suspension that the current Rally 1 cars have got. But back in the day, the Bilstein dampers
70.
worked quite well, to be honest. It seemed to soak that up a treat. Now onto tarmac now. We're dropping all the
70.
time, coming down to the actual estate itself.
Long fast left and long fast right. And easy left, keep in. 100. Long easy right. 50, flat right. 70. Flat left, 50, flat right. And keep left over 100 to turn medium right and medium left.
Wow. On the gravel tyre, obviously
And
using
flat
them
right,
just to
70.
the max.
Flat
Glad we
left,
had
120.
gravel tyres for
Flat
that
left,
section
baby,
anyway. A lot
50,
of wet,
fast
slippery
right.
stuff there.
And long easy left and long easy right and easy left. 50, fast left and fast right tightens and very, very long medium left. 40, long K right tightens into long bad right.
We're going to turn off this in a second
50, very, very long K right
and drop
turn very
down
long
literally
bad
to the
left.
house itself, where conditions get very interesting.
70, long easy left over bump to easy jump and easy right. 50, left over 50 to easy right. 40, long fast right snow.
That was
30,
added by our
long
gravel
fast
crew.
left to crest.
Looks like a bit of snow there, but a lot of it had gone by the time we got there.
30, very long medium
Back onto gravel here now.
70, hairpin left.
Doesn't he make it look so easy?
70, crest to medium right. And 40, bad right through narrow gate. And very long K left, opens, too long easy left.
Okay, now we're getting down where all the bulk of the
100.
spectators were down in this section.
Long fast left, 70. Fast left over bump, tightens into medium left.
There's a water splash across here, I
Medium
remember.
right over crest.
A lot of mud and water
50,
here, isn't there?
fast
Look
right
at that.
To crest, then keep left to fast right over water bump. 70. Caution, long turn bad left, very slippy. Keep in. And K right.
So now that big hole in the bonnet, which gets rid of all the hot air from the
50,
turbo,
very long bad
when you've
left,
gone through a
narrow
water
gate
splash, is a
left.
pain. Look how the steam blocks your view, but he still manages to keep going, even though we
And very
can't see
long
from the
medium
onboard.
right. 30.
Look, steam's still coming
Long
up through
fast
here
left,
now.
50. Long medium right, 50. Medium left.
This stage did cause some chaos.
30, medium
but
right and very long fast
it was,
left, right,
you can see,
turn
this
hairpin
is
right,
quite
narrow and
demanding.
three.
A forest stage literally would be much, much easier to drive than this.
50.
But there'll be
Long medium
certain
right.
elements
50,
of the
caution,
entry
fast
would have
left
lost a
and 30,
lot of
right
time
and hairpin
on a
left.
stage like this. And somebody who wasn't confident, God, you'd lose
30.
so much time.
Long K right and very long K left. 50. Very long medium right tightens and keep left over 50 to turn hairpin right tight.
Georgina, the Duchess of Devonshire, she would have been out spectating if this was in the 1800s, I'm sure.
50. Very long bad left over crest.
Look at the spectators now.
50. Long bad left.
There was thousands and thousands in here.
70. Medium left and turn long bad right. Keep left over 100.
Again, not making it easy. Look at all the stones and boulders right at the edge. Obviously designed to
70.
stop you cutting the corner,
Long,
but
fast
my
right.
God,
And
that's a
long,
wheel
fast
off and a
left, keep in and turn
puncture
long, bad right,
at the
slow
very
inside.
least.
And 90 left.
So slippery, look, under braking,
50.
struggling to slow the
Very
car.
long, easy right opens. 70. Long, flat left, 120. Long, flat right, and keep right over 100 to turn hairpin left. 50. Very long K right.
Quick jump
narrow.
on the bar, round you go.
70.
That's neatly done.
Medium left and turn 90 right. 50. Water splash, 70. Long, fast right.
That was a
Fast
simple
jump,
water splash.
long, fast left,
That was just, you know, you just aquaplaned across the whole lot. And that jump has caused some
100 flat
problems
right,
in the
120
past,
fast left, 30, very, very
but
long
for
K left.
certain drivers, I know. Gwyndaf
Left
rolled their
over
one rally
100.
GB.
To turn, bad right to narrow gate.
I thought
Bad
Juha
left.
drove an absolutely brilliant stage here, which he did do. But actually, after all of this,
90 right.
at the stage finish, we actually were second fastest to Colin McRae.
Flat right, maybe through
Only by
back
1
gate.
second, but it was
Narrow,
all really very, very
120.
tight at the top.
Okay.
But that was one you'd be really happy to get through the stage finish without any dramas. But great stage, wasn't it? So after Chatsworth, we went into Clumber Park. That was actually one of the Top Gear. I actually had a live broadcast from there with loads of camera positions. That was quite cool because it was a nice stage, relatively open. But again, it was tarmac, a lot of snow and a bit of ice here and there. So it was quite interesting. But then we did Donington a couple of times around the racetrack, using a bit of the infield, bit of gravel here and there. And then we ended with that Myra stage on the car proving ground. After the battle of the first day, we were actually leading the rally by 14 seconds from Armin Schwarz, who drove a reasonable first day, with Kenneth Eriksson third, 15 seconds behind it, but Colin McRae was right there, 17 seconds behind us in fourth. By the time we'd done our service for the end of the day, have a bite to eat, went through all the time controls and put the car into Parc Fermé, it was 8 o'clock at night, dark and cold. Back to the hotel for a welcome sleep, but a very short sleep. At 4 o'clock the next morning, we got up to leave to head into Wales. And the first stage was Dyfnant, classic stage. In this case, it was just under 13 kilometres long. But during the recce, we'd stayed actually in Lake Vyrnwy Hotel. Lovely hotel, not far from Dyfnant. Got up early in the morning, came down for breakfast and looked outside. My God, it was a complete whiteout. They'd had a lot of heavy snow overnight. So we went on just some snow tyres, just a really narrow tyre. And off we set to Dyfnant. We were there, because we were so close to the stage start, we were there, first car, and Didier Oriol was right behind us. Car started to build up, and then the stage commander said, listen, we think we may have to cancel the recce on this stage. Why is that? He said, nobody's been able to get through. So they were in their Land Rovers or whatever, and we thought it was a bit strange. And he said, oh, it's a bit deep in places. So Juha Kankkunen said, I think you better let us go through. We can open the road. After a little persuasion, the guy said, right, okay, if you feel you can get through, four-wheel drive, narrow snow tyres, we can get through. And we actually did recce the stage. It was deep snow, did what we could do, and we all got through there. There were some issues for some people, but generally we finished and Didier finished. But come the rally, we arrived there at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and at 6:32 we were due to start. So now it's pitch black. And the snow, a lot of that snow had kind of melted. But now we were faced with a road that had a very thin layer of ice on, with snow at the sides in places. This was the kind of stage where you most definitely could have a lot of drama. It did throw up some dramas, but I've got some onboard for this stage. This will give you a good idea of Juha's car control and how he manages all these tough, icy, treacherous conditions. It's something that a Finn would live with every winter.
50, long, easy right. 40, keep right over crest and turn, very, very long, bad left.
Do you know, spot lamps never look as good from a video camera than they do
50.
in real life.
Flat right over crest.
But you can see it's really cold.
Flat right.
Can you see that
Caution, fast right
all
over
that
crest,
snow
50
that we
long
had on the
medium left,
recce
70.
has virtually disappeared off the road, but
Very long bad left, opens.
you can see that frosty finish on the surface.
50. Flat left, 150. Long, easy right. 70, double caution, flat right and 100, easy right, keep in. And 40, hairpin right.
Do you notice how the car is constantly going from the right-hand side of the road right over on the left-hand side of the road? He's crossing, he's almost got the car with the front wheels on the edge on the one side and the back wheels on the edge on the other side. The reason for that is so many of the cars in front are just sticking to the main track, compacting it, making it really icy and slippery. But Juha is using all the gravel that's sat on the sides of the road, frozen in place by the frozen conditions, but those are giving him grip. And when you think about it, I mean, I think if I was driving this, I'd be petrified. But, you know, he's just taking it without any problem whatsoever. Obviously, in his mind, he's got a lot of grip here.
50. Long medium right, opens to crest. 50, very long flat left, 120. Keep right to easy left, and keep right over 50 to turn, hairpin right, tightens.
The anti-lag, you can see, is switched off virtually.
Keep left over crest, 50.
God, that must have been a slippery hairpin. Virtually came to a stop there, it couldn't turn in.
Long fast left opens the crest, 100. Fast left and long fast right, keep in, 50. Turn hairpin left over bump.
When you look at the dash of the car for this rally, you can see in the middle of the screen there's two digits.
70, medium right.
That's basically the speedo, because obviously Rally GB is, you've got to be so careful with speed. Juha had the speed that for the road straight in front of you, and if you can read it, it'll give you some idea of how fast he can actually achieve in these conditions.
70. Long crest to turn flat left, maybe keep in. And keep right over 100.
My
To
word.
turn. Open hair, long open hairpin left tightens.
Now, I said to you there were some dramas here.
100.
I know that two of our main rivals in this stage, you know, run into trouble.
Left tightens hard to small crest.
And actually, Colin was one of them, because I think he lost 47 seconds in here. He obviously had a pretty major spin, or possibly even two. And I think Kenneth Eriksson run into trouble as well a little bit.
Very long medium right opens. 120. Okay.
Wow. Just shows how bad it is and how much luck you need sometimes, because it was incredibly icy, just whacked that brushwood and just put us back on the road. So certainly luck was on our side there on that corner. He's a bit more tentative now. This must be a very icy part of the stage.
50, very long medium right opens. 100. Keep left to medium right narrows over crest. Medium right narrows over crest. 50, fast right. 100.
When I listen to myself reading pace notes here, you've got, we had old school stuff, intercom wise. A Peltor intercom which didn't have any active digital noise cancelling like we have in our Stilo digital intercoms of today, and helmets with really good electronics. So when I listen to myself, I think, well, why are you screaming and shouting so much? And it's because you can't really hear yourself. And if for any reason there was a lot of noise from stones in the floor pan and what have you, the only way you could hear was by cranking up the volume even more. So you're cranking up the noise, the background noise, as well as, you know, my voice so I could hear myself correctly.
70. Small crest to open, hairpin left. And long, medium right, logs inside.
Now this is, you can see how treacherous this is.
50. Small
But
crest
where
to
are we?
long,
We're
fast
6
left.
minutes in. And I think it's so slow. I just wanted to play you this to show you how treacherous it was. So we were fastest, 16 minutes and 32 we did. Malcolm Wilson was second quickest, 13 seconds behind. Well done, Malk. The one guy that was doing really well was Kenneth Eriksson, and he must have gone off big time and got stuck some shape because he was 3 minutes and 11 seconds behind us. So all of a sudden, really his challenge for the win this rally was over. But from here, we then headed up into my Herons and Hafrans, Pant Perthogs, the beautiful stages in mid Wales, Dyfed and Gothainog. They are historically brilliant stages today. And then we went right up north to Penmacno, north and south, Breneggs, which is in Clocainog, and then finally ending at Clocainog. That in itself, first stage, Dyfed, we did at 6:32 in the morning. We started Clocainog at 4:25 in the afternoon. From there, we had to go all the way up to Lancaster, and then we had time control in the middle of the town, and then we actually put the car in Parc Fermé again at 10 to 9, and then that's our time to get some sleep. In true Rally GB fashion at this time, and this wasn't particularly long a rally anymore. God, my longest one was 85. We would have gone all the way through the night here. We would have gone all the way up to Lancaster, all the way into Grisdale, all the way through Kielder, and then you would probably sleep the following night in Newcastle. But as it was, we restarted at 6:30 in the morning. And then we head into Grisdale, quite a special stage. It's very twisty. We had a big moment in here, but again, we got away with it. So let's have a look at stage 20, Grisdale East.
70. Caution, flat right over crest.
Now you can
flat
see
left,
here,
50, very long bad right.
we've had
And
no
very,
snow
very long bad
in
left.
Grisdale at all. It's most unusual for the Lake
50.
District. If you get
Long
bad
easy
weather,
left,
this is where you
and
get it.
flat right, 70.
But the forest
Very
is in
long
great
medium
shape.
right opens.
I'm sure
50,
everybody
very
be starting this
long
as
bad right.
keen as mustard.
And
But you
fast
can
left.
see how twisty
And long
it is
medium
generally and how many drop-offs at the
And
edge.
very long medium
You can
left
see he got
opens.
close to the edge there.
Right over 50 to long medium left, tightens hard to crest, stone inside, 30.
That took a bit of saying.
Very long K right. 30, keep left of a small crest to easy right and long fast left, stone in, and long easy right, 120.
God, like a machine gun
Straight,
there.
a very long fast right, tightens hard. And
There was a lot of very,
long
very,
fast left
veries.
narrows. 50, medium left, opens. 50, caution, small crest, and long easy left. 50, crest and very long K right. 30, very long bad left.
Thank God, time for a
30, very
breather.
long bad left, tightens, 30. Medium right, 50. Crest along easy left, opens, 50. Keep right of a crest and long bad left, logs inside. And very, very long K right, opens. 70, small crest to very long K right, tightens and opens into long fast right. 50, very long medium left. 50. Fast left, 70. Long fast left, 50. Long K right to crest. 50. Crest to very long K left. 50. Very, very long medium right. And really long K left.
So that's a good call.
very, very
Instead of a
long back
very,
right,
very
right.
long, we got a really long. That
And
makes it
long
much
fast left,
easier to call.
opens. 50. Very, very long K left, opens and tightens along bad left.
But you see, it's
Very long
so
K
many of these
right,
corners are
opens.
so long, but also tight as well.
100. Caution, turn very long medium left, tightens in long bad left. And then 70. crest to flat left. 70. Caution, easy right.
What's not
opens.
very
70.
good for you young co-drivers, and I don't know why I'm doing it, and then 70.
And crest to long fast
What
right,
is
opens
that
to
all
long
about?
crest.
It's just 70.
Caution, 40. Long K right opens into medium right.
I think
tightens
it's
into very, very
probably
long
just
K right
all a
over
bit
crest.
nervous and
And very, very long K left, opens and tightens into long bad left, narrow. 70, long bad right. 30,
a lot
long
of
90 right,
trees,
opens into long fast right.
log piles piled everywhere
30,
here.
long K left, opens into medium
And they
left.
always seem to put
To
them in the
caution,
worst
crest,
possible
50,
places.
K left, and very long bad right, stone inside. And long 90 left, tightens.
You can see the exposed
50,
open area,
very
how
long
much
bad
drier
right,
the road
tightens.
is here.
And medium left of a crest. And long medium left, 30. Long K right. And very, very long K left opens into easy left. 50. Long fast left. And keep right over 70. The very, very long K left opens into very, very long fast left.
God, there's a lot of very, very, verys. Thank God he's very, very, very in control.
And
That's all
flat
I could
right,
say.
120. Turn 90 right. And very, very long bad left over crest, stone inside. 50. Long flat right, 120. Very long fast right of a crest, tightens. 30, long medium right, tightens. And keep left over 50 to long bad right.
Bad right is a good call, isn't it? You can't,
50.
you know, it's obviously a slow
Long
corner,
crest
but
and
that's
very
such
long
a good
medium
call.
left. And very, very long K right opens and tightens into very long
Really
bad right over
means
crest.
something. Really means something.
30. Flat left, 120. Very long flat left of a crest, 100. Long easy right and very long medium
Fifth.
left, tightens.
6
And very long K right, opens into long medium right, opens.
and the third.
Keep left over 50 to small crest, 50, long easy left, opens. 70.
Do you know, such a
Flat right,
fast driver,
maybe,
but he was
120.
so easy on a
Caution,
car.
crest and 50.
The mechanics
Keep
used to
left
say
bad
his
right, narrow and bad
gearboxes
left
were
chicane.
perfect. Didier's almost had to have a new gearbox every day.
50. Crest 50 to stop.
There you go. That was a great stage. You see how demanding that was, and first thing in the morning as well. Of course, that would have left it wide open for people to actually get it wrong. But actually, our stage time there, we did a 5:02, but Ari Vatanen was quickest there, believe it or not. And then Colin was second quickest, 1 second slower than Ari, and we were 2 seconds slower than Colin. So third fastest. Colin, throughout all of the Welsh stages, went exceptionally well. That extra couple of seconds meant that actually Colin was leading the rally at this point by 23 seconds from us. But then we had like 2.5 minutes to third place. So really, the rally had already taken shape to where the battle was going to be. Well, we went from that Grisdale East to Grisdale West, where we took a bit of time out of Colin. But then we headed north, up beyond Carlisle, and now we're getting into the stages of Kielder. We started with Kershope, and Kershope on the recce was very interesting conditions. But of course, we've headed quite a way north now. Kershope was always quite tricky. We had to more or less use a gravel tyre because there were so many loose stones at the edges. But there wasn't a deep covering of snow. It was only a light covering of snow. But this actually was going to be a big turning point in the rally on this stage. No traction.
120. Caution, small crest, 40, very long, bad left. .50. Crest, 100. Crest, 50, fast right, tightens. And very long, fast left.
A bit of
opens and
flickering from
tightens.
this old
And long,
footage.
fast right. And keep left over 50 to turn hairpin right, tight.
Do you know, as a driver, a very competitive
150.
driver, you're trying to do your best, but you can see how you could get, unless you had the right
Okay,
temperament,
right.
and Juha was a wonderful tactician. He
300.
knew what he needed to do, and he wouldn't push it too far. He would just keep it smooth, keep it neat, not make a mistake, and just keep going. And he
Crest 100.
always had a tremendous ability to
Crest
just
120.
have a great stage time
Then crest
and have
200.
no issues with the car.
Bumps and 50.
Carry
crest,
on to the next
50,
stage and the
medium
next
left.
stage and the
Tightens
next
into
stage.
long K left.
And that's why he was a 4 times world champion. He could judge his pace perfectly.
And very long K right, tightens hard.
But Kielder historically does
70.
tend to be fast for the majority,
Long K right.
but again a lot of
70.
danger at the side. And the road repairs
fast left.
in the Kershope area were always a lot of large stones
Long,
which
fast
would
left over
cause
crest,
issues.
70.
So
Turn
he's
90
as
right.
much as anything else, he's looking after the car not to pick up a puncture as well.
70 crest 100.
And I said that this stage would
Crest
throw up some
100.
dramas. And I suppose maybe
Crest
the
50,
pressure
very
of
long
leading,
back right.
but in here Colin made a mistake. He went off the road, caused a bit of damage, did manage to
150.
get back on the road again.
Crest 150. Fast left 100. Keep left over jump.
So while he did throw it off, he did get it back on the
100.
road, but the
Easy left 50. Crest
the damage
40.
was quite bad.
Caution long fast right over
And
crest and 30. Turn
there
90
was
left.
an interview at the end of the stage with him where the service were trying to do something, and this is what he had to say.
The ditch had broken the radiator.
What was the cause of it, Colin? Did the hose just go, or did you bump on something?
No, it's the bottom of the radiator's broken. It's always the rocks just come up and caught the radiator. Broke the bottom of it. So all the water's gone.
So, do you think you can do anything?
I don't think. I think the engine's been too badly cooked now. It did most of the stage with no water in it. So that's it.
About 1 mile over the Scottish border when it happened.
I know. Well, at least I'm near home.
There was now frantic activity as the Subaru team tried to get McRae's car going. He had about a half an hour to make the start of the next stage, but it was all looking hopeless, and finally for McRae, defeat was admitted.
Forget it. Well, Colin, you tried very hard. It looks as though it's over.
Yeah, no, it's not going to go again. Not this one anyway.
Well, if there's any consolation, all your millions of fans out there are going to feel just as devastated as you are.
Well, I don't know if they'll be quite as devastated, but there'll always be another year.
So that's your promise to them.
Yep, next year. Said that last year.
Obviously, all
Crest,
that
very
meant
long back right.
that now for us, we
Long
were,
K left.
you know,
Opens, keep in.
we'd basically overtaken him in the stage with the time that he'd lost. But he
50.
also
Flat
handed the
right,
stage
and easy left.
victory to us
70.
and the
Long
stage
fast
lead,
left,
the rally lead to us.
Keep
And then
straight
we
over
could just
crest.
continue, and
70, caution,
at that
very long
point we
medium right,
knew we were in a
tightens
position
hard.
that
And
it's
long K
our
left.
rally to lose. And we
very
weren't
long
chasing
back
anybody,
right.
we were now in control
Opens into
because
fast right.
Kenneth Eriksson was trying reasonably hard behind, but you know, Juha was
50,
confident, he
long
had the
medium
speed
right.
just to pull it
50,
off.
very
And
long bad left.
so now it was for a lot of people trying to be in the lead for what is now potentially a day and a half of rallying and keep
Medium
that
right
lead.
over crest.
But the guy was a 4-time world champion. He'd been here so many times before, and it was all fairly straightforward. But you can see how tricky this was. And you can see it's always when you've got perfect white roads, how loose rocks and stones just jump out at you in amongst the snow. And you can see that there are a lot of loose stones around, which probably ripped out of the inside of the corner by Colin, who would have been first on the road on this stage.
70.
Wake up call at 5 o'clock in the morning, typical, very little sleep after long days. With a start from Gateshead at 6:30, we headed off into Hampstead Forest. Colin was out, so Juha started hard to try and pull back a little bit of time on Kenneth, who was pushing. And we took 12 seconds out of him. Early morning stuff just to catch them half asleep. And then we went into Cropton Forest, and I'll always remember Cropton. 13 kilometres, again icy and slippery. And we came into this left-hander, and it was in through a gate. and it snapped sideways just at the wrong moment, and whack, we hit this gate post. My God, my heart was in my mouth. I thought, dear God, this is the rally gone. But fortunately, the car did bounce back and kept us on the road. You know, there was a lot of damage. It looked terrible, pushed all the bubble arch right in on the wheel. We managed to escape it. The 13 seconds we took off Kenneth in Hampsley in the morning, Kenneth took 13 out of us there because obviously it upset the flow of everything. So here we were now, we were back to 1 minute and 20 in the lead, still a good lead. We then went into a short stage of Gale Rig and we took 9 seconds out of Kenneth. So yep, UR was still meaning business. There was a big stage to go. Langdale took another 9 seconds. Now the lead's up to 1:38. And then we get into Dalby Forest, 32 kilometres. I thought, right, this is the one. And UR always teased me about this. And he always mentions it from time to time. We were in this stage and he was driving exceptionally well. He just shouted over the intercom to me, "How far have we got to go?" I said, "Why, what's wrong? What's wrong? Is there a problem?" No. I just want to know how far it is to go. I was all nervous leading my home rally. And you said, "How far have we got to go?"
Yeah.
I said, "Wait, what's the problem? What's the problem?"
Yes, you know. What is the problem? No, Nicky, nothing. Everything is 100%.
Yeah, yes. It's just that I just need to know if I can take a bit more risk.
Little bit more risk, you know, that not to have a puncture, you know, there. Because I knew that we are going to make quite a good time there anyway.
Yeah. But we did get through that stage and won my first home rally as well. So. And he always teased me because he knew that towards the end of the stage, if it was 5 kilometres, he could just push harder, cut the corners a little more aggressively. So if he did pick a puncture up, he wasn't going to lose too much time. And that's the first time he ever said that to me. And it was when we were leading the Network Q Rally GB. We only had 3 stages to go. And I thought it was over again. As it was, it wasn't an issue. And in 32 kilometres, we took 14 seconds out of Kenneth Eriksson to put our lead up to 1 minute and 52. We then had a very interesting stage in Scunthorpe. Now, I think, if I remember right, Scunthorpe stage, it was based in a sort of like a coal distribution depot, a massive great coal yard up in Scunthorpe. And actually, as a Mickey Mouse stage, it was actually very good. UHA, for whatever reason, decided to back off and not make any mistakes. Perhaps we were suffering because we were first on the road with road position. Can't remember exactly why, but we lost 26 seconds to the fastest, who was Armin Schwarz, who was running back, Ari second. We were still leading by 1 minute 44. We then had a long run from Scunthorpe. I think it was an 85 kilometre road section south, and we're coming back down the M1 and we're coming down to Donington again, where we'd already used it twice. So this was just the last stage, 4.5 kilometres, and feeling pretty confident. Service before the stage and everything was fine. But actually Armin Schwarz was quickest, but we were joint second with Kenneth Eriksson. Once that happened, then it was all over. Nothing short of a complete disaster or somebody taking us out on a road section on the way back to Birmingham. The victory was ours. Literally from Donington, it was just under 40 kilometres road section. You know, I was probably the nicest 39 kilometre road section I'd ever done, because here we'd won the Network Q RAC Rally and my first win on home soil. So by the time we got to Birmingham and actually checked in, it was 8:05. Again, another long day, not like these half days that these guys have nowadays in the WRC. So you could imagine now getting to the finish ramp, all these thousands of people in the middle of Birmingham, and they had these pipers from the guards or something blowing the trumpet as we came up on the ramp, and the whole spectacle and trophies and the champagne and then all the team around. It really was the most wonderful feeling.
He's been successful in the Safari, Argentina, the 1,000 Lakes, Australia, and now here in Britain.
Juha, congratulations, fantastic drive. This is in fact your third RAC Rally win. How did it compare with the other two?
Let's say the other two have been also nice because I have won the championship on those times also, but let's say this one was the most difficult one I have ever done in my life.
And was it a great help having a British co-driver with you, Nicky?
Yeah, of course, he's a good boy.
What's he like sitting next to him?
Well, he's fast. Not hairy, just very fast. No, we've had a good rally. I mean, this year when I joined Juha, I hadn't won a World Championship event before. Since we've won 2 others, which my first one I'll always remember, but for me to win the RAC Rally, I mean, it's just, I'll cherish it for the rest of my life, to win your home World Championship rally.
Well done, Nicky, and well done, Juha, again. It's fantastic, and you've really entertained everybody this week.
Thank you.
Brilliant drive. Well done, both of you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
That was most definitely a tick for that rally, and I'd won my home round of the World Championship, which was brilliant.